Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Corpse, almost dead people. Tonight's story is probably one of the most creepiest stories I've ever told. And it's true. It all began in the winter of 1986, somewhere in Texas. I won't name the specific city for obvious reasons, and the names will be changed for other obvious reasons. I will be speaking in the perspective of a 16-year-old female as a junior in high school, living in a small town somewhere in Texas. It was around that time of year where everybody was getting ready for senior prom. I didn't have a date at the time. However, we still had a couple months, to find our dates. We lived in one of the oldest high schools in town. It was known to be the creepiest high school. It was one of the oldest. Some say back in World War II, they had a cellar in the bottom of the back by the... God, it hurts me to say this sometimes. Behind the drama room where we used to practice, where they'd put the dead bodies. To this day, I still will never say if I believe it or not. Back to my story. I really wanted a date, and there was a special guy that I was interested in. As I said, this was one of the oldest schools in our town, and there were rumors that it was going to be demolished. I didn't believe it. Nobody else did. I think it was a pride thing. However, rumors were to advance. So, a month went by, a couple more weeks went by. I finally got the date I wanted. There was something creepy about this guy though, but it was very intriguing. I didn't mention early in this story, I am a little bit gothic. My name is Teresa, but I go by Tess. I have implants in my mouth, fangs. No, I'm not a vampire. I don't believe in eating other people's blood. But it does fantasize me. And the guy I wanted to go with prom with, he likes the same things. I didn't mention, we didn't want to go to prom for the traditional reasons. We just kind of wanted to go to, experiment, if you know what I mean. Well, I made the first move. He accepted. We went out to the cemetery. It was our first date. We had a bottle of red wine. We were shackled together. It was an erotic date. I loved it. He kissed me. I kissed him back. He bit my lips so hard I bled. And it was at that moment I knew. And I think he knew too. I bit him back. I bit his neck so hard he bled. I think I was within an inch of his jugular vein. I wasn't even thinking about the prom until we finished and I looked in his eyes. We wanted more. It was dark. A week before the prom, we got our outfits ready. We were all blacked out. But we had to put some class in it because we didn't want to really scare anybody away or get kicked out. Prom night comes. Boy, were we ready for some recruitment. Finally, prom night. Let's call my date Josh. I'll be Samantha. Anyway, We get into the dance hall. For shits and giggles, I had a little bit of fake blood rolling down my lip. I wiped it off. We weren't really too liked by personnel there, but for goodness sake, they let us in anyway. We had a few friends, but from the beginning, we always had our eyes on each other. It was almost like love at first sight. And after we tasted each other's blood, we couldn't get enough. But as time went on throughout the night, it seems like we had the urge to taste other people's blood. And then when we separated, for whatever reason, we would eyeball. Doors would open, and you can hear the crackling. As I said, the school was extremely old. I'd look at him, he'd look at me, we'd look at one of the victims. We started talking and mingling to other people. All our friends and people that knew us they had their assumptions about us, but nothing as to what was to come next. A couple of friends we knew had some bottles of whiskey and vodka, so we all decided to split. Me and, well, him had other intentions in mind. So we decided to take our cars and go. 2 in one car, 2 in the other. We went to an unsecluded place where we decided to have our own little fun. We told him about our experience. After about 4 shots each, a couple puffs of you-know-what, we decided to experiment. And then all of a sudden, blood started gushing out of his neck. I thought I had it under control, but I didn't. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have my cell phone. Sarah, I think her name was Sarah. She didn't have a cell phone either. Jack, whoever he was, Sarah's date, whatever her name was. All I wanted was more blood. All I have to tell you people is, if you go to an old high school and summertime comes and it's prom night and you're thirsty for blood, stay at home.